Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss Mass Effect, or rather, the ending thereof. If you don't want spoilers, I suggest that you leave now. Just go. Are you going? Are you going? Okay, you're gone. Okay. So, when I say ending, I do really mean ending singular, because even though you can make millions of colors using a red, green and blue channel, and I ought to know since I make games, that still doesn't mean that you have more than one ending when you color code your ending differently. I'd like to preface a few things before we start, which is why we're looking at this very pretty opening screen. I love Mass Effect. I played through all of the games in the series. I didn't pirate them. I was nice and bought them, and I played all through them, and I bought a lot of DLC, and I spent so many hours, and honestly, I love every game, even the third. It's not often that video games make me cry. This one did, repeatedly. So, but the ending, it just makes everything worse. I'd also like to say I was gonna originally just talk about everything that did not make sense about Mass Effect 3's ending. But since I'm a pretty big proponent of the indoctrination theory, I'm gonna be talking about that too. It's gonna be like a dual thing where I discuss what's going on, how it doesn't make sense, how it might make sense if the indoctrination theory is correct. Let me again preface that by saying, if the indoctrination theory is correct, it's still shitty because, they made a game and it doesn't have the ending in. Probably with the intention of selling us the real ending, which is just as bad. Having said all that, let's, jump right in. So, waking up, and what's his face? Can't remember his name. Harbinger? Yeah, he's flying off. I'm waking up. That's Miss Shepard, looking not quite as good as usual. Yeah, she looks kind of goth. I was having a phase when I made her back in Mass Effect 1. Okay, hang on, gotta fix this. Okay, sorry. So, some people have said about the trees, there being trees like in your nightmares, but I saw some trees before you get hit by the beam. They're scattered to the left. I don't have a video of that because I'd have to replay all the way back from like the start of the Citadel rush mission. No, I don't really feel like it. But it is kind of weird, like, what's all this water doing it there? And why is it, like, rushing away from the beam? Is that like a beam effect? Is there a powerful wind because of the beam? If there's wind, why isn't this accurately portrayed? Why do I only hear this weird beam sound? It's all very odd and dreamlike. Which would make sense if this was the indoctrination theory. Yeah, I also set my game to the weakest settings, because, we all love Marauder shields, but I don't want to get killed by him 3 times while filming this, It actually makes sense with the indoctrination theory that there'd be some resistance, because this is all Shepard's mind partially making this up. And it needs to be believable enough, even for her subconscious. Sorry, Marauder shields. It needs to be believable enough for her subconscious to accept it, which means you'd have to have some token resistance. Normally you'd think this area would be swarming with Reapers, but at least there's some resistance in the form of, like, those 3 husks and 4 Marauder shields whose head just exploded. And what the hell is this stuff? Like, seriously, have you guys looked at this? This does not look... I mean, either this is some shoddy texturing work, or... yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. It looks very surreal. It's hard to imagine that they just said, well, for the piles of debris, just put stuff in that looks like half corpse, half machine. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Saren. Huh. Okay, so this part still makes sense, but it makes more sense if you go with indoctrination theory already. And in the beam we go. Yeah, I like making my own sound effects. Sue me. So there's a keeper.
Shepard.
There's a lot of corpses. That corpse actually looked kind of robotic to me, but you know, what the hell do I know? Maybe they were wearing armor. So you hear Anderson. How is your comlink even working? How?
I followed you up, but we didn't come out the same place. No.
I didn't see you, Anderson. How the hell did you follow me up? How did you not explode or get vaporized or something? That's very skilled of you. See, immediately it doesn't add up.
Just gotta keep moving. It's dark. There's human remains scattered.
Sounds familiar. I'm in a dark hallway. Reminds me of your description of the collector base.
So again, does this look like any area
Makes
of the
sense.
Citadel? Does the Citadel have like
Reaper in here.
a nightmare setting that it goes into when the Reapers toggle it and all the lights go red?
And send the people up here to be processed.
Doesn't make sense.
Damn abomination.
Also, a lot of these corpses are wearing armor.
Back to hell.
That might just, again, be an art asset thing, but... Also, I can shoot this keeper and he doesn't seem to care. Also, you see me reloading my gun? That's a reflex. You never have to reload this gun, which doesn't make sense. The one time you got a free pistol, you did have to reload it. There's no ammo either. Why wouldn't there be ammo? I mean, it's not like you even need ammo anymore. That might be one reason. Might also be that the gun is fake and Shepard is being indoctrinated. Anyway, nightmare setting does not make sense. You'd think, like, even if this was real, and I'm gonna assume for a moment that it is, that the people on the Citadel would have put up a fight, that there'd still be resistance unless there's some built-in...
Anderson?
One of the walls here just realigned itself.
Anderson is, like,
This is shifting.
interrupting me. How rude. Yeah, the place is shifting, changing. That makes no sense.
Here.
We don't know the Citadel to do that. Sure, it has arms, sure, they can close. That's about it. I mean, the Citadel changes, but it's keepers. And suddenly the lights went different. Anyone notice that? That was like bright red. What happens if I go back? Actually, that's interesting. This is all grey now. Do you think there's real lights that can make you look grey? That's kind of dreamlike too. I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, the gun only makes sense as a symbol of Shepard's resistance to indoctrination. Oh no, that's not what I was saying. I was saying, if there were people on the Citadel, you'd think they'd have a resistance. But there's none. So the Citadel might have some nerve gas or toxin or something, but that just seems highly unlikely that there'd be nerve gas canisters spread throughout the Citadel for just such a contingency, because this has never happened before. They've never had to clear out the Citadel this way. They used to cut off all the mass relays and just kill everything in the galaxy. So I don't buy it. There needs to be resistance, and this looks nothing like the Citadel. Actually, this part looks more like a Shadow Broker vessel.
Might be a way to cross over.
Don't get too far ahead of me.
But not going with the indoctrination theory, there should be resistance, especially since there not being a resistance means that everyone got killed off screen. And that's just bad. It's something else to get angry over. Like, in between missions, off screen, not a cutscene or how do you do, everyone's on the Citadel is dead. Like, I'm sure glad I didn't give that one Asari traumatized victim a gun through my Spectre control panel, because God forbid she would have shot herself before the Reapers could have liquefied her and turned her into a Reaper. Seriously. Seriously, BioWare, seriously. Okay, going up here. People have said that they saw traffic in the Citadel skybox here. I'm trying to see it, but I don't see it. I do see lights moving. Is that what they mean by traffic? I don't know. That part seems kind of flimsy. That could be any kind of moving component. But whatever. Oh look, it's Anderson. He's somehow here before me despite coming into the beam after me, and there being no visible way to enter this place besides there. Sure, the Citadel might be changing and changing shapes, but there's nothing but air out here. Nothing but air. Only way this could make sense if he wasn't real.
Anderson!
Shepard! I can't.
This is also interesting. Like, how is the elusive man
What
here?
have...
Why is there Reaper control in play with Shepard?
Control is the means to survival. Control of the Reaper.
Why would Shepard be able to be controlled by the Reapers? Maybe because Cerberus put implants into her? Maybe because she's had so much exposure to Reapers? But what about Anderson?
I don't
How would
think
he
so.
be being controlled? Like... And who's controlling Anderson? Is it the elusive man? But he doesn't have that power. Is it Reapers? They also don't have that power. The only power they have to control someone is turning them into a husk or indoctrination. And we're neither. How does this work? What the hell is this? Unless this is not real. I'm usually a Paragon, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Paragon.
Controlling me is a lot different
Or a
than controlling
Paragate,
a Reaper.
or a Renegon, I don't know.
Have a little faith. When humanity discovered the mass relays, when we learned there was more to the galaxy than we imagined, there were some who thought the relays should be destroyed. They were scared of what we'd find.
That would have been interesting,
Terrified
wouldn't it?
of what we might let in. But look at what humanity has achieved. Since that discovery, we've advanced more than the past 10,000 years combined.
Also, how did he suddenly get all Reaperish? Like, we just saw him recently. And he didn't look that bad, unless I'm mistaken. Does he look that bad in Kyling's fight? I don't think he does. So, again, makes no sense.
We destroy them.
Unless it's not real.
Us.
That's such a convenient
And
excuse,
waste
though,
this
unless it's
opportunity?
not real. Like,
Never.
sure, none of this makes sense unless it isn't real, unless we're in magical space magic land. Not even listening to what he's saying, actually. No, you didn't earn this power.
You don't understand. With power, you shouldn't be able to use.
I don't believe that. If we can control it, why shouldn't it be ours?
Because we're not ready.
No. This is the way...
Also, he doesn't have a
must
cigarette.
evolve.
That does not make sense, BioWare. This is a continuity error.
I've dedicated my life to...
You should always have a cigarette.
And I know with certainty the Crucible will allow me to control it.
How did you know that with certainty, anyway?
Look at the power they wield. Look at what they can do.
Mind you, I don't like the entire Crucible MacGuffin. It's so much less cool than the dark energy plot that they apparently had set up
I see
before
what they
Mass
did
Effect
to
3.
you.
I took what I wanted from them, made it my own. This isn't about me or you. It's about things so much bigger than all of us.
Yeah, it's like Citadels and Crucibles and Reapers.
And who will you listen to, Shepard? An old soldier stuck in his ways, only able to see the world down the barrel of a gun? And what if he's wrong? What if controlling the Reapers is the answer?
An old soldier only able to look at the world down the barrel of his gun. See, he might be talking about Anderson, but he might be talking about you. You know, indoctrination theory.
If we destroy the Reapers, this ends today. But if you can't control them,
But I can!
are you willing to bet humanity's existence on it?
I know it will work.
You can't.
Also, why would the Illusive Man suddenly
They won't let you
falter?
do it.
I've done so many
I'm
Paragon
in control.
conversation options on him, and
one's
he's
telling me
always
what to
told
do.
me to, you know, piss off and
You're
let him do his thing.
No! No! The two of you so self-righteous. Do you think power like this comes easy? There are sacrifices.
You sacrifice too much.
Shepard,
But so far,
I
most
only
of this
wanted
is
to
still
protect
making
humanity.
some sort of
the
sense.
Crucibles can control them. I know it can.
Even
I
though it
just-
feels a lot like the Mass Effect
not
1
too
ending,
late.
except without
Let us
Mecha
go.
Saren.
We'll do the rest.
I almost said Sauron. I don't know, they kind of look the same.
I can't do that, Commander.
Of course you can't. They own you now.
You'd undo everything I've accomplished. I won't let that happen.
And this is why my interrupts, when my options don't work for some reason. I have no idea. I'm just gonna insult his face, 'cause, you know.
You're nothing more than the Reaper's plaything now.
Oh yeah, you tell him, Shepard.
Now, you're the one who failed.
Kablamo! That was anticlimactic. Okay. He's dead. Anderson just, you know, fell down. Interesting bit coming up. Apparently there's cut audio where Anderson and Shepard talk about how Anderson never had a family, blah 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 blah. Again, if this is in Shepard's mind, it's interesting because Shepard never had a family, but
I wish you could see it like I do, Shepard. It's
my Shepard definitely wants a family with Liara. Yeah, I want with Liara, sue me. I'm a dyke. Yeah, she definitely wants a family, so she could be talking to herself again. If this is the indoctrination theory. If not, it's still a touching moment, like one of the few moments in the entire ending that I actually like and approve of.
Jobs are opening.
And there's the Crucible. Oh god, I hate the Crucible. We don't know what it is, we don't know what it does, but we're gonna devote all our resources to it because, you know, it might do something.
10 seconds to contact.
Even though we've blown up like 3 Reapers already. Better to put our resources into a MacGuffin. Makes total sense. Touching scene coming up. Yes, this is basically a play-by-play. I'm sorry if some of you are bored, but I am a Let's Player, so you know.
Commander?
Noticeable that the wound that Shepard suddenly feels later is not visible now.
We did.
Might again be an art asset thing, but
It's
yeah.
quite a view.
That's a lot of times I've said, might be an art asset thing. Like, seriously.
Best seats in the house.
It's BioWare. You'd expect more of them if this is not the indoctrination theory.
Feels like years since I just sat down.
Think you earned a rest.
So much love for Jennifer Hale.
We're almost through this.
Her voice acting is so
You did
superb.
good, child. You did good. I'm proud of you.
As touching as this is, I have to wonder about Anderson suddenly pulling the father figure thing. Because they've never had that kind of relationship before. But, you know, if he's dying, I guess he can be excused. And suddenly owned where she shot Anderson before.